Oh, it's Chico week. Does it get bigger than that? It probably does. But hey, for Humboldt, it's going to be a big one. We're talking Humboldt Lumberjacks versus Chico State. Let's just say rivalry renewed. And there's some storylines like the Lady Jacks 8-0, Lady Wildcats 8-0. Talking to Coach Broome, who he wouldn't even talk to people for 4 years if they're a Chico grad or Chico person. Lennie coming in there wrestling this week. And then we're talking about the Fires, basketball, and how you can give back and get free tickets. It is a pleasure to be joined by one of my absolute favorites, going back a couple years, not too many years, of course, Meredith the Maier, who now, Meredith, with the Chamber of Commerce.
That's right. It's been 20 years.
Has it been that long? That's it? Is that when you Kurt and Talia bought the brewery many, many moons ago?
22 years ago.
And of course, I love the story about the copy machines, but I digress. We're not going that far back. You have moved on to new pastures. What's it like going from a business owner representing one business to now you're kind of like a figurehead for all the businesses, at least in Arcata?
Super fun. Okay. And I'm having a great time. Yeah, it's awesome. Now I get to support businesses in a new way, and I have a unique perspective because I was a business owner, and yeah, I get to help.
When usually we talk over beer and football, so we're gonna do it a little different, and you are actually here for a really good cause as well. With Humboldt Made, obviously that just terrible fire that took place in Arcata a few weeks back. You think about the business owners, Siva and Dander and Dante and the people that lost their apartments. So you're stepping up, and you and Humboldt Made, and a chance for the community and the Lumberjack Nation to step up and help out.
Yeah, they reached out to us for an opportunity to continue to raise funds. And so on Thursday for the game, they've donated 100 tickets to Humboldt Made and Arcata Chamber for the fire relief benefit efforts. And so you can, for $10 or if more if you want, if you're inclined, you can purchase a ticket through us and get your hand stamp and come on in and know that you not only supported Lumberjacks, but also a great cause in the community.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's supporting the Jacks, it's supporting our community, and I mean, Humboldt Made, I mean, is there going to be food? What are we talking about here? What are they going to be up to?
Yeah, well.
What else do I get?
Yeah.
Give me more.
There is a chamber mixer that evening, so you could pop on up and network with fellow Arcata businesses. Humboldt Made and the Arcata Chamber are created a fund for some larger donations, like one coming in from Cal Poly, so we can kind of take our time and be really strategic about how we divvy out those funds to help the businesses.
And what does that look like? I mean, we don't need to get into the nitty gritty, but you know, I'm sure people, they know about the fire, they know people are displaced, they want to help, and then kind of take us through that process on, you know, helping out and then getting those funds to the people who need them so it can go to good use.
Yeah, we sent out a needs assessment survey to the businesses. Our organizations are focusing more on the businesses. Pay It Forward Humboldt's focusing on the individual needs. And we sent out a needs assessment survey to try to figure out the best way for these funds to be distributed to them to help.
How have the other businesses been affected? And just talk about that interaction, because it's funny, like you're all in business together. You're all, I don't want to say competing against each other, but you definitely don't want to see, you know, tragedy strike, and you want to see them get back on their feet as quick as possible, because the more successful businesses, it's kind of like, you know, rising tides. They all get to enjoy it.
That's at 100% as the point, is a rising tide lifts all ships, and I think the general consensus in downtown is we want to see progress in that space. We want to see them get the rubble out and start moving back, because those businesses that are here have to succeed to be able to support these spaces to come back online.
Talk about you being the Arcata Chamber, obviously McKinleyville all those years, longtime member of the community, a Humboldt graduate, I assume? Did you go to school here?
I didn't.
Forget that then. I assume everybody's a graduate here if they come in here. Okay, with that said though, talk about the relationship that the university has with the community, with the businesses, and vice versa.
Yeah, I would say Cal Poly reached out to us immediately, and there's so many different departments that are trying to help out. This was great timing that we were having this mixer here already, and Mike is so awesome to be able to offer that opportunity to raise some extra money.
How can people, look, maybe they can't make it on Thursday. How can people learn more, get in touch with you guys? You know, there's a million ways to connect, so
that's a great question. Thank you for asking. The Chamber actually has a web page hosted on our website that not only includes resources for people that were affected by the fire, but for vetted sources for people to donate, individuals and the businesses, and our fire departments, that many of them are volunteer. So however you're inspired to give back, there's information there on how to do it.
Now, obviously been here in a long time, and at Six Rivers, you guys used to host a lot of the Humboldt. So do you have any favorite memories of the teams, the coaches? I mean, because not only you guys were at a lot of the games, catering games, but, you know, maybe a time or two over the years, I know post-game activities work their way over there to the Brew with the View.
What happens there stays there. But we loved hosting events here. This is a really cool room. I don't know if everyone can see behind us, but you can see right into the arena here, and it's a fun way to watch the game.
I would get jealous because I sit kind of in the corner over there, and then I would turn back to my left, and I would see you guys with beverages and food and enjoying the game, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, I think I'm doing this wrong. I think I need to be on the other side. And then, of course, you guys are great. What you mean? You want a beer? You want this and that? It's like, yeah, I want like 10 of them. But against my better judgment, I'm going to have to pass.
I hate when you use your better judgment.
It's rare that it happens. It's rare, very rare that it happens. Okay, again, Thursday. Oh, I mean, you don't need an excuse to come to this game. It's Chico State. But now you can feel warm, fuzzy good, $10 donation, free ticket, tax write-off. Helping local businesses, helping our community. One more time, how can people contact you guys?
Through Arcata Chamber of Commerce. Check out the website. There's a fire resource page there. So click it, donate, help.
One of the best and a pillar of our community. Meredith, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Joined now by Lennie Zalesky, head coach for Humboldt Wrestling. All right, Coach, how's it feel getting oxygen back on the coast?
It feels good. Feels good. And the warm weather, actually, the 60 or 50 degree weather we're having now is a lot.
I would imagine.
Maybe 45.
What, 7,500 square feet, Rocky Mountain chills, no oxygen. I mean, it's a
0 degrees.
Rocky movie breaking out here.
Yes. Yeah, well, it was good competition.
Okay, tell us about the trip.
Okay, well, got there Thursday night and, wrestled Saturday. We had 9 o'clock with Mesa and 10:30 with Western, and then we had Adams State at the end. But we ran into a lot of tough guys. I think we wrestled like close to 15 ranked.
So there's some big-time wrestlers going on in the RMAC.
Yeah, well, RMAC, and then it's our region. The biggest reason we went out there is to face those guys before the region tournament. So, if you look at the match scores, they didn't look very good, but we wrestled an All-American, took him down twice, and then ended up getting, pinned actually. But so we were in these matches, a lot of them, and just lost.
Well, probably nice to, you went there to see the competition.
Exactly.
Part of it was to, jockey for some seeding coming to the regionals. But with that said, now you know what the competition looks like when you get there. Does that help the guys realize what kind of work they got to put in and what steps they need to take the next step? Yeah,
well, you'll need to beat those guys to go to the NCAAs, and it's just a good reminder. We don't see it so much at that level, like just so consistent through the lineup, So anyway, they get it. It's not that they're that far away. It's just having to wrestle that over, the intensity of the match. It's just good for,
Well, when I talk to, Coach Broome and Coach Bento-Jackson in the preseason, you're seeing teams from other conferences, and these conferences have their styles. Now, I know it's part of the same region, but are they wrestling different in Colorado than they are on the West Coast?
Not really. Every wrestler is different.
Okay.
Yeah, so every wrestler, my whole team, they got 10 wrestlers starting, they all have 10 different styles. So they try to emulate some of the same moves, that we work on, of course.
Right.
But there's always a different feel, to wrestler.
So are you a coach that, obviously you had a style, you had a way of wrestling yourself. Do you, how much of you are teaching guys, obviously, what worked for you, and how much is like, okay, let's fit in for what Jason Victoria needs?
Yeah. Well, there's both. There's both that goes on. So each style, Jason's a little bit, we'd say, unorthodox.
Okay.
And And with that unorthodoxy, there's unorthodox moves that would fit really in. We're working on some. Jason had 102 temperature that week, so he didn't compete to his best. But yeah, you try to get some basic moves, and then you like some that are outside the, make it a little fun. But
See, that's what I love about wrestlers. 102, he didn't wrestle to his best. I'm going to beat up on Coach Broome. Basketball players might have, NBA players would have missed a month and not played with something like that. Okay, everyone talks about the altitude. Was it a legit factor?
it wasn't. It was mainly only, or in wrestling, I didn't notice a difference.
Okay.
They got dry mouths. They were talking about their nose being, dry and that. But in wrestling, I didn't really notice it. But sleep-wise, everybody complained about it. No one could sleep.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they were saying they were rolling in bed all night. They got 3 hours a night sleep. And I was one of them. I mean, same thing happened to me.
Oh, and the regionals are in Golden, so a little lower.
Yes.
Little bit, but still not the coast. All right, this weekend, you guys are home. The Oaks of Menlo going to be on campus right here, breaking out the mats. What can we expect? What's on the line here?
It's a pretty well mat. If we have everybody that's healthy, we had an injury and we had a couple guys sick. So if we have everybody back, it's going to be real close. We lost to Western. We went down out there to the last match, the heavyweight match, and we had three guys out. They beat Western by 1, so it's going to be it'll be a tight match.
How much do the team scores or the team results have anything to do with regional? Like I know track and field, which is an individual sport. The top 3 teams will get into a region, let's say, and then best 6 that aren't on those, or for like golf, things like that.
Yeah.
What does the team result mean outside of how the team went as far as moving forward into the season?
It doesn't play any into it at all, the team result. There's been wrestlers that went to the NCAA qualifier that had losing records and end up making, this is D1 by the way, and may end up making the NCAA finals. So now that's rare, of course, but it has happened. So sometimes guys just kind of put everything together right at the end of the year, and sometimes the guys who are winning do the opposite.
Now, I had Meredith on real quick. When you wrestled, were you, my body's a temple, I'm not touching a beer, or, man, that was a rough weekend, I need a beer?
We were back in Iowa. I don't know how much you know about Iowa,
so
but that's what they give you after weigh-ins.
Oh, Coach, I love it. All right, what time Friday?
Friday, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock, right here, Lumberjack Arena. If you've not been out to a wrestling event, you've got to do it. It is a must, and come root on Coach and the fellas. Coach, appreciate your time.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you.
Back after this. Pleasure to be joined by DJ Broome, head coach of the Lumberjacks. Coach, old adage, you got to split on the road. Jacks took care of business. You got to split on the road. Let's start with San Francisco State. They're always a scrappy team, but the Jacks went down, took care of business.
Yeah, think we were in a decent spot. Obviously, having momentum of winning 3 straight. Offense was clicking. Disappointed in our defensive effort and our lack of focus at times, and then obviously I think that was a key contributor to the massacre that happened on Saturday night. But getting back to our fundamentals, nice to be home again and clean it up for a big week against Chico.
Yeah, look, A, East Bay's a good team. B, you guys clearly didn't bring the A game. With that said, winners of 4 straight, 4-1 over your final 5. No matter how bad you lose, or you lose by a point, it's still an L.
100%.
So with that said, got to feel pretty good when you're coming in here against Chico State.
Yeah, no, we've put ourselves in position to have a fighting chance. You're tied with Marcos right now. Still some self-inflicted wounds in games we probably should have come out on top, but you're still in control. So we take care of business this week with how the schedule is set up. It's another chance to kind of separate from the middle of the pack.
Yeah, it's kind of weird when you think, or for me at least, I'm not in it. You're on ground zero every day, and I'm on the tour, but this time next week or in 2 weeks, it's going to be over the halfway point of the season. How good do you feel? I imagine where you sit in the conference, you got to feel pretty good where you're at as we get close to the halfway mark.
Yeah, I think, and that's probably what's the most disappointing part about Saturday is you leave there going, East Bay's good, and not to take anything away from them, but how good, I have no idea because we never showed up. But as far as everyone else, when we're playing our A game, when we're defending, when we're playing together and moving the ball, you feel really good about your chances. So sitting in third place, with a home game up next, yeah, I'm definitely not complaining about where we're at.
Yeah, I would imagine the two that probably stand out are, the San Marcos game due to being, let's just call it light on the bench.
Yep.
And then, I don't know, how the East game, can you put a finger on it? Was just, clearly they're a good team. Nobody's beat them.
Yep.
But with that said, it was not your night. It's just, you just chalk it up as a stinker, but how do you avoid letting that happen again against India?
Yeah, I think it's all about our intent. And we had a good film session yesterday. From the tip, you call a play, the first play of the game, you know what you're running, and we got guys taking a look to see if I can get a shot before we run the play, and it kind of just was a landslide from there. Obviously, their full court pressure bothered us. I don't want to say caught us off guard, but we just weren't ready for the intensity and the fight that they brought, and that's what happens when you're not ready. But yeah, good practice today. I think there's some excitement to get into a rivalry week with Chico State. So yeah, we'll be ready Thursday.
Well, you're old school. You know what this means. This is back in the day. This was to the old timers who are going to come into the alums. For a lot of folks, if they're going to come to one game this year, this is the one. And also with that said, they don't care if you're 0-10 or 10-0. They're going to want you to beat Chico.
100%.
And then it's odd because you turn around and then you play them at their place on Saturday, but I'm sure you cross that bridge when you get there. Have you talked to, look, in today's day and age, these guys have been to a gazillion different colleges, I don't know what the rivalry means to them. What conversation have you, or have you even talked to them about what this game will probably mean to the alumni base and the people in the state?
Yeah, no, that's really what you hit on is what it means to myself, our staff, our community, our fan base, and the alumni. The NCAA is kind of watered down rivalries because, like you said, there's so much movement that, there's guys on Chico that are on their third team in the CC2A, and there's a chance, there's a Chico State guy on our roster next year or vice versa. So it takes away from it a little bit, but our guys are pretty locked in and bought into, there's a clear understanding about how we feel about them, and hopefully that carries over.
Yeah, I made a comment on the broadcast when I was interviewing one of the girls that, the phone hated Chico Wildcats, and somebody from the Chico, what do you mean hated it? I said, it's probably the nicest thing I could have said
nicest
about
way
that.
to put it, yeah,
when
100%.
it comes to that. All right, with that said, you've seen the game film. What do you expect out of Chico State?
They're pretty traditional. I'll continue my streak of playing ex-Montana guys.
Okay.
They got Dargan on the roster, who's a really talented guard. He's long, he can score it. Their point guard's a transfer from Sonoma State, who's really good, scoring it a lot better than he did last year and also distributing the ball. And then they got a Bay Area tweener that is their third leading scorer, who's really aggressive, can shoot the three. So I think we match up fine. They're going to hard hedge us and be physical and try to crash the glass hard. So we got to bring our fight, and if we play the way we can and share the ball, we'll be fine. All
right, I had to double check, make sure I didn't look at the baseball schedule. How strange, or how do you prepare when you're playing a team back-to-back games?
It's interesting. Yeah, like usually, me and Stevie are splitting the scouts. I got one, he's got one. Kind of tag team this one, and then the Friday will be kind of reviewing game film from the day before as you get ready for Saturday. Yeah, it's just a weird week. I think the league, obviously everyone's playing their travel partners, but Cal LA and Dominguez Hills are a lot closer than us and Chico. So
no 299 separating.
Yeah, no, 100%. So yeah, you just roll with the punches, and the main objective is to get it done on Thursday, and then we'll go from there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, look, you shouldn't only come to one Humboldt game this year, but if it is going to be one, this is the one. It's Chico State. Bleed the green and gold. Come cheer these guys on and the ladies, and it's going to be fun. And at the radio station, the tickets are flying off the hook, so I know it's going to be a big crowd and people are pumped up. So, Coach, good luck and beat Chico.
No, appreciate it.
Back after these messages. Pleasure to be joined by Michelle Bento-Jackson. And Coach, usually I'd be, 8-0, this, that. It's Chico week. Let's go. What does Chico mean to Coach Bento-Jackson? I asked Coach Broome. Obviously, it goes deep with them. It's crazy, this world we live in with, the transfer and the portal and then this, that. I don't know how much it means to the girls, but I can tell you to the people in the stands, it's going to mean a lot.
It's going to mean a lot, and anybody who's been, affiliated with Humboldt State or Cal Poly Humboldt athletics understands this rivalry. And I'll certainly, I'm not dwelling on it with our team, but we have so many new players that they don't understand the magnitude of it. I'm sure Coach Broome, as you said, it gets much deeper with him. But I know whether fans can make it or not, home or away, I'll be getting lots of text messages because those are the true ones really understand what this is about.
Right. I mean, 8-0, there should be no reason to sell on why you need to come watch this team. But if you were 0-8, people would be interested in this game and all would be good with the win. And I do apologize. Coach Broome said there's a guy I went to high school with, went to Chico State. He didn't talk to for 4 years until they were both out of school. So with that said, you probably don't need to give them a real big rah-rah speech, Coach. You're 8-0 because whatever's going on is working. I imagine these girls clearly have shown to you they want to go out and compete.
Yeah, well, yes, it is Chico this week, but just in general, this next stretch of our schedule, we have Chico, Pomona, San Bernardino, and LA. These next 5 games are, we're just moving along in the conference, and as you go along, each game carries more and more weight. And in these next 2.5 weeks, all the top 4 teams, at least currently the top 4 teams, are all playing each other. So this is a very critical time for us.
All right, let's talk about Chico State on the roster. Bruce has been there forever, it seems, I think 16, 17 years. And, they built a program over at Chico. With that said, clearly they got it rolling, 8-0. I believe Madison Perry's over there as well. When you look at the roster, you get into the scouting report, let's put the emotion aside. What does it take to get a win against Chico?
Well, obviously, I'm extremely familiar with their style of play. I mean, their coach doesn't deviate too much from what they do. Of course, we'll be prepared for whatever. But so we're comfortable that we know what they're going to do. But knowing what they're going to do and then defending it and applying things are a whole different ball game. So obviously, that's what we're focusing on this week in practice. And it's going to be, I expect it to be a battle, and both teams are, 8-0 and going for this, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, and they've always seemed over the years balanced, right? They've got good posts, they've got good guard play, They seem to have shooters, and it's like the games I feel like that the last few years it's kind of like pick your poison. If you shut them down on the post, they seem to start lighting you up from the outside, and vice versa.
You're absolutely right. They want to run in transition, and you're right. They have balance, and they have balance again this year with their outside perimeter shooting, along with their top 2 leading scorers are their 4 or 5 players. So they certainly bring balance to the floor for them as an offensive threat, and we have to do a real solid job on the defensive end.
Coach, with that 8-0, you've got to be really impressed with this team. Why has this team? Because outside of one game, they haven't even been close.
Yeah, I just think it's a group of girls who are, as I say, they've just been like sponges. They've really been bought in. They're being very receptive to learning, wanting to improve, wanting to get better. A good majority of them are in this gym all the time. And I think I mentioned to you before, every time we have a film session and I point things out, they really try their best to fix whatever it is that we're talking about. So it's just been a really fun group in that regard. Obviously, 8-0 is great, and it's a great deodorant, as they say, but it's still very early in the season. But more importantly, I've just thoroughly enjoyed coaching this group.
I get the chance to talk to you enough, and the comment kind of San Francisco State was, I challenged the girls to put the team away. They didn't put them away.
No.
You put them away against East Bay. I thought that was a growth moment, right? I mean, something you talked about, you worked on, and they responded.
They really did, and of course, we're happy with the win. But both LA and San Francisco, I just didn't think we played our best basketball. I thought we took a step back, is exactly what I told them. And Friday we had a really good film session. And normally I'm already focused on the next opponent, but to be honest, last Friday we watched film on ourselves on the San Francisco State game, because I just, we need to be sharp in a lot of different areas, and I thought the girls responded very well.
Not a baseball season, but you're playing the same team 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
What challenge does that, from an X's and O's wise, and I guess everything goes into it, obviously 299 is never a joyride, but with that said, what challenges go into preparing for a team Thursday night that you're also going to see Saturday night?
Yeah, it's definitely different. That's probably the one area of the schedule that I'm not too fond of. But, you know, everybody has to do it. So clearly there's not a lot of time for adjustments. You know, whatever Chico and we do on Thursday night, how much is going to change between Thursday and Saturday, we'll see. Probably not nearly as much if, you know, there was more separation between the two teams. Both teams have to travel back to Chico. So, but we're both in the same boat. It's a 1 o'clock game. So, you know, it's to be expected with this type of schedule, and both teams just got to be ready.
Do you have that mindset of it's the next game for the girls, or hey, like you said, there's some huge games coming up here. You've got an 8-0 Chico team. You got a Pomona team who's supposed to be the cream of the crop in the conference out there lingering. And then, oh, by the way, it's Chico twice. It's also San Bernardino, who the Jacks have had struggles with over the years, who's playing well. And then LA is going to want to, you know, they're going to want another shot at you.
Exactly. And that's why I say, I mean, obviously we're going to have to do this a second round later in the season, but right now, right here in the middle of conference play, we're almost approaching the halfway point. I never look too far ahead, but I'm not naive to think that this stretch right here is pretty pivotal. So we just got to be playing better basketball and be more consistent.
Coach, as always, appreciate your time and beat Chico. 8-0 Lumberjacks. Another edition of Humboldt All-Axess in the books. Thanks for joining us, everybody.